Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of my Splinter Cell Blacklist Charlie 4E mission. And basically, this is the Pakistani embassy, and I'm going for wave 20 by myself. And it's Ghost Perfectionist that I'm trying to grab here. Nothing else, nothing like Assault or any Panther or anything like that. So we'll see how I do. So if you guys didn't know already, what I enjoy doing is instead of just continuing on, seeing how far I can get, I like to revert to last checkpoint, so I'll have all of my gadgets and stuff. Otherwise, it'll be really, really tricky for me. Also, I already uploaded and commentated part 4 of this. I did it all out of order, just depending on video size, just so I can get it out there a bit quicker. But I was extremely drunk when I did part 4, so I repeated some of my words, and sometimes didn't make any sense when I was trying to explain something. So just keep that in mind when you're watching it, if you do eventually get to that part, because it is really a grind to get there, especially by yourself. You have to be very methodical and patient and single each enemy out and stalk them and knock them out. And so alright, so I guess this is wave 6. So I am not encountering any guys with night vision goggles yet, or any guys with riot shields, and those guys will come up later on, which will be a huge pain in the ass, but I can show you their weaknesses and the best way to really get by them. Definitely use the height to your advantage when you are knocking out the guys with the night vision goggles, and then when the guys with the shields, also use your height, because if you knock them out from above, it's a lot easier than trying to get behind them and risking them turning around to come at you. And if I have my I take my tri-rotor out and then I put it back, because I notice that there are dogs on the other side there, and they can easily just sniff me out. So I just want to take those out before I leave my or I leave Sam Fisher just sitting there. So I want to see where those dogs are going. You want to make sure you know where every single canine is at all times, because they can really ruin your day and alert everyone else to your position, which is not good. Again, using your height here for dogs is okay, but you want to take them out as soon as possible anyway, just because they'll start barking and people will do a more thorough search, and they'll definitely spot you, even if you are up on that pipe. So alright, so just patiently waiting, getting a scope of my area, and I start with, I think it was 16 enemies or something along those lines for this wave, and it gets up into the 40s. I think that's as high as it goes, 40 enemies. But yeah, that is that's huge undertaking for one guy, especially on Perfectionist, and you will get spotted once or twice, but you can still maintain a ghost playthrough by just running away from them. But even then, sometimes that's hard, because they'll take you out in 1 or 2 shots when you have the stealth suit instead of the fully armored suit. So you can let dogs bark at you if you don't think any people are coming at you, and then you just wait behind a corner patiently for him to get close, and then start spamming the X for Xbox users, or the square button for PlayStation users. And yeah, needless to say, there isn't very much else to say. Just requires a great bit of luck and patience on your part, because failing that many times is frustrating as all hell. But I did get to 11 on the leaderboards for this when all was said and done. So that's pretty cool. Definitely wouldn't do it again. And leaderboards aren't that important, to be honest with you. But well. See, when you're attacking them, you do have a little bit of leeway as far as if they do spot you. You can, if you're close enough, you can just give them a tap to the face. But if you're facing heavier guys, the guys with helmets, then sometimes if you're trying to close the gap and knock them out, but they see you too soon, then they'll just push you away. And if that's the case, try and cover as much ground away from them as possible, or throw maybe a sleeping gas grenade down. That might help you get out of your position before they inevitably kill you. So I finished that wave. On to wave 7. The stakes are getting higher and higher. All right. This probably took about an afternoon of solid gaming. I wasn't alone though. I had a couple people just chatting on Skype, and my brother came over and we were talking while I was doing this. So definitely take breaks if you're attempting to do this by yourself for some stupid reason. But yeah, you'll get frustrated for sure. And definitely use this area to your advantage. This is probably the area you're going to want to spend the most amount of time with. Even on co-op, you can have someone up on the pipe on the other side, and then you'll be up on the pipe in this stairway. And it's perfect because if you get big groups of guys, then they're reduced to this tiny little corridor, right? So even if you can't knock out both of them, let's say you want to aerial knock out somebody, but you think someone else is going to come right around the corner. Just sticky shocker bolt somebody, and then the other guy will come running to him and see what's going on. Like, who shot that? Oh my goodness! But it's a really dark area, and you're really too high up for them to see on their first look up. So it works well with dogs too. So keep that in mind. And I like putting the bodies over past the little wall there, so it doesn't take them as long to go investigate their buddies when they go down. And see, this is a good example. See, these two guys are here, but I want to take both of them out, but I don't think I'll have enough time. So 1 and 2. Oh. I think that glitched out for a second there. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you want to make sure you don't get caught with your pants down in that situation, because if you do something too loud, then some guys will come running, especially if they're already on alert. So I'm waiting patiently. The thing I hate the most about trying to do Ghost Perfectionist is that there's no way to tell anyone's patrol. In campaign, you can just study where those guys are going, and 9 times out of the 10 they will go those routes again if you want to retry and try and perfect your play style. But in this, it's fair game. Like, they'll go anywhere. So if you're trying to sneak up on somebody and they turn around and you're too far away to knock them out, then you're kind of SOL, so to speak. So there are 3 guys on the left there, so I know I can't take them all head on. There's also a dog. Especially look for audio. Sorry, listen for audio cues, because you want to make sure if you hear a dog that you're safely up here, or you're out of their way. You want to maybe close the door behind you, because dogs can't open doors, obviously. And I see these 3 guys coming in, so I switch from sticky shockers to sleeping gas. and get them all nice and lined up, and there you go. Want to conserve as much as possible for sure, and that'll prove way more useful in the later levels. And you can knock out from above dogs too if you didn't realize that before. You definitely can. Looks very, very brutal though. I can never imagine that doing that to a dog. I have a dog of my own, so that's the one reason why I couldn't be a special agent. Yep. Screw killing hundreds of people, but if I have to drop kick a dog, then sorry. No cigar, America. No. All right, I'm down to 8 guys. My hands are getting sweaty. I'm getting nervous at this interval of enemies, because you really want to make sure you don't screw up and have to retry the entire thing. That's where you pull out the better gadgets, the proximity mines and the sticky shockers. I got 3 guys with one thing there. They're all grouped up looking at the pile of bodies that I left in my wake. And you also want to make sure you pay attention to where they're spawning after you've taken out a certain number of guys, because sometimes the next amount of enemies won't spawn until you've taken out some certain guys, so including the Juggernaut. So make sure you're not out of position when you take those guys out. You want to be, I almost missed that guy there. You want to be where you feel most comfortable, and that was in this little stairway for me. So, and eventually there will also be snipers, and there will be this really annoying wave where all it is dogs and robot users. I guess it's not that annoying, because it's when you think about it, robots can't open doors and dogs can't open doors. So all you do is you hide up in that alcove, the balcony that I was at a couple seconds ago, and you just close all the doors beside you. And then there will be 1 or 2 guys with night vision goggles that spawn, but those guys are easy to take out because they spawn way over on the other side. And then the dogs and the robots, you can just safely shield yourself from, and then slowly crawl or climb up on this railing here and move across and plan your next attack. So also you can use your tri-rotor sticky shocker to fly around, and because the robot engineers will just stay at where they spawn, so they'll be pretty far away from you on the map. So use the tri-rotor to your advantage. Don't take out any dogs with a tri-rotor. That's useless. That's a stupid idea. Alright, so down to 23 for this this wave. Only 23 people, don't worry. So I have a funny feeling that these guys were going to keep going forward with their patrol, which they did. And I knew that guy was in the dark, so I was able to knock him out. Climb on back up, because I heard a dog, and what do you know, a dog. Probably the most frustrating enemies you'll face, for sure. Okay. So this guy almost spots me. See, he has a helmet, so you want to make sure that you try and take out the guys with the helmets, even if they don't have the full body armor. You want to make sure you take those ones out from either the side or behind them or above them, or with sleeping gas bolts, other than facing them head on, because sometimes they'll push you away and screw you up, like I said before. So these guys are just chilling over there. I wanted to make sure that they stop moving before I take a good effort at shooting at them. I think this enemy's glitching through the wall here, so... Huh. Oh, no, that's his friend. That's his dead... Or that's his knocked out friend. Oh, that's his dog, sorry. His dog's head was poking through the wall, if you didn't see that. Yeah, so if you want to go out this window, it'll be in the dark, It'll be too high for those guys to see, and you'll be able to get a good view on who is coming through from the east road there. Also, you have to be careful if you do go out there in the later levels, because right above you and beside you is where some snipers will spawn, and it's a good place to take them out, but they can also spot you pretty quickly there. So just be careful when you hop out that window in the later levels. So again, I hear a dog, and if you look at your radar, the arrows that you see for dogs will behave differently than the humans. The humans are a lot slower in their patrols, and they turn their head a lot slower as well. The dogs are sometimes the arrows will kind of look like they're sniffing in a way, which sounds weird, but if you play for 20 waves like I did, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So keep that in mind. And I guess you could say that with any enemy, really. With the Juggernauts, with the snipers, what have you. They'll all move differently and behave differently. So again, I'm looking out here, getting a view of everyone. Trying to take out the non-mobile hostiles with my taser. And if you feel that you're safe from people looking at you in front of you, I like to hop over the railing and air knock out people from there. So, and I only have 4 hostiles left, and I have 4 sticky shockers remaining. So, might as well use those just to ensure my safety. And see, I broke my own rule there. I saw dogs, but I didn't get in a safer area to use my tri-rotor. And if you want, you can use your tri-rotor when you're up on a railing or up on top of a pipe or hanging out a window. It's very useful that way. So even if you do see a bunch of dogs and you want to take out some robot operators or other enemies like night vision goggle guys, just hide over a railing like so, like I'm doing right now. I'm just waiting for this last guy to knock out from above here. And he spots his teammates, almost turns around and spots me there for some reason. And sometimes it will be unfair as well. Sometimes they'll glitch out a bit and spot you, even though they definitely shouldn't have turned around. So, well, that's wave 8 though. So there you go. 24 knockouts. We're getting there. And I believe it'll turn into 26 or 28 now. Enemies. 28, yep. Goes up by 4 each time, I believe. And after it hits 40 hostiles, it still won't be at wave 20 yet. So the amount of enemies will go down, but the types of enemies will be more difficult for you to deal with. So wave 8, I believe this is where they all, or no, some of them are night vision goggles users. So this is where you'll start encountering those guys. See if you want to be up high above them or just definitely out of their cones of vision. Got 2 at a time back there. Not too shabby. But don't worry, later on in this wave, it'll just revert back to regular guys for you to take out. So you guy over there. And I get pretty cocky with my accuracy here for my sticky shockers and what have you. But don't be like me. It just make it harder on yourself, to be honest with you. And if someone says, "I think I heard a shot over there," when you miss a guy with a sticky shocker from far away, then you can still take out his friends, and that won't be a problem as far as stealth knockouts go. I think he either saw his, yeah, he saw his downed buddy there. Alright, and I'm just chilling, waiting for the perfect shot. See how I aimed a little bit ahead of him. Just to compensate for the slowness of the dart. And if you find that you're not getting caught in the area that you're chilling at, and it starts to lose the amount of guys, and then stay where you are, and if you're comfortable, you know. And I'm surprised this dog didn't start barking, but don't want him to start, so I tase the hell out of him. Almost get caught by those guys with night vision goggles. So those guys will definitely start checking, and I plant a nice little trap for them. And if you want to, just for more audio cues, just close those doors behind you. Even if there aren't dogs, you know, you'll hear them opening up the doors, which will give you a little bit of time to react. And I see this guy over here. I think I might whistle here, or if you want, use a sticky noise maker, and then he'll go check it out. And then if there's no one looking your way on the left, you can knock him out from below, from the railing, smack his head into the railing. Always tons of fun. And again, you just want to play uber careful. Just really, really slowly plan out your next move. And I know that guy's going to be trolling that way on the right. I thought he was going to turn around there for a sec, so I was ready to shoot him. But I sense he's going the way on the right, so I see that guy right there. Don't know if he's below me or right beside me, so I just want to make extra sure. And sorry for the boring gameplay here, guys, but I'm just showing, you know, so a simple way to try and get through this if you ever really want to. But again, there is no real simple way to get through this. So I'm just showing you how I did. And he almost spots me. You'll get a few of those moments for sure. All right, down to 13. That's a lot more manageable than what was it, 28? So yeah, we are getting there. We are gonna be okay. So let's think how many sticky shockers and sleeping gas bolts you have. You have 3 to start out, and then if you have the suit like I do, which if you're trying to complete this without the suit and the gadgets, then you're crazy. You're even crazier than I am, and I'm pretty insane. So definitely get everything you can to help you out before you attempt this. Nice little shot on my part there. I'm gonna toot my own horn, but toot toot. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So you have 13 sticky shockers, and you have 13 gas bolts. So if you're gonna be facing 40, and you only have that much of each, if you can, midway through those later levels when you get up to 40 enemies, definitely try to, hand-to-hand knockout as many guys as possible. Use your tri-rotor as well. You'll probably use pretty much every single gadget that you have in your arsenal for those 2 or 3 waves, and get the most bang for your buck. Like I said, take out 2 or 3 guys that are all clumped up. Remember, you can't use any gadgets besides noisemakers, obviously, on the Juggernaut. So keep that in mind. Actually, maybe you might, but I want to save it for the big groups of small guys rather than the big guys. I want to make sure I take out all the small fish first before I take out the big guys. Just to give me time to think and and their patrols are slower anyway, so it'll be easy to deal with those guys by themselves. So, and any guys with night vision goggles, just in case they get some really ridiculous sightings off you. I like taking those guys out as soon as I see them, just like dogs. I like the human version of dogs. This guy on the left is impeding my progress though, so I have to mosey my way down here. And his patrol is all messed up. See how as he goes back up the stairs after going down them. Which, sure, okay, that makes sense. So I knock him out. His teammate hears that. Gotta distance myself from those two. Play it a little safe, and then those guys will check that out, so I go behind their butts. And then I pull the whole switcheroo on them. And I almost get spotted for the last one right there, so whew, close call. Alright, so we are on our last wave of the part. And I believe it is 2 more HVTs. Yes. Okay, so it'll every 5 waves, yes, there is 2 HVTs, but I hadn't mentioned yet that in the last part on level 20, there are 6 HVTs you have to take out. There's obviously a lot less regular guys you have to deal with, but you get a smaller time frame to take them all out in. And I have a really creative way, I would say, of how I was able to take out all 6 by myself. And if you get the general gist of my play style, and you want to skip to level 20, then obviously it'll be at the end of part 4. But if you do want to see how I got through the 40 guys and the different waves preceding that, then be my guest. Watch away. Part 3. Part 3 will be pretty long. It'll be about, I want to say 40 minutes. Hopefully not, but that's a lot of rendering time. But if it is, then thanks for watching that long of a video, especially on something so menial and repetitive. I would say this is a bit repetitive, but So you have a lot of time to capture these HVTs. So looked like I was about to get caught by that one there for a second, but yeah, you'll have plenty of time to get these 2, and it's only 2 of them, mind you, so not that big a deal. And yeah, so in between them stopping their patrols to check out a table or something like that, and their friends aren't turned their way, then I find that's the perfect time to give them a good old smack to the back of the head. Okay, and another thing I should mention is that there are going to be 3 Juggernauts at the nearing the end of this wave. So I'll show you the ways I like to take them out. And there's one right there. I see that he's going all the way over to the other side though, which is fine. That means he'll be over there a while. That's good for me. I want to make sure that I take out every single light unit possible before I even attempt those knockouts. And he's going over there. And you really have to be careful with them because they are the most aware enemy you'll face besides the dogs. They are they'll spot you like almost immediately, and you have to make sure you're walking slow most of the time behind them. I get a couple good areas where I just am able to crouch sprint up behind them and knock them out easy. But see what I just did right there? It has to be hand to hand, right? I don't know if you can do what I just did to the Juggernauts. I'm not entirely sure. It's very finicky, honestly. So I just choose to just threw a proximity shocker at that guy's nuts. That was pretty funny. But yeah, you wanna make extra sure that you're gonna be able to take those guys out, because they do have shotguns. So if they do spot you, you're pretty much 100% always gonna get killed, and then you're gonna have to retry. And retrying a wave that has 28 people in it, I would not want to do that. So we're gonna move in and see how he goes. I did it nice and quietly. One thing I would have changed in that scenario, though, is I would have closed the door behind him just in case anyone was walking up the stairs, and then accidentally put it to a combat knockout instead of a stealth knockout. And I get a little sloppy with my crossbow bolts there. And okay, so there's 8 hostiles remaining. Juggernaut's over there still. So you can see him way in the distance there. And okay, so I hop on over. And the rest of the guys will be regular guys. And don't do that. Don't shoot a sticky shocker at someone else and then knock someone out like that. Don't alert them to your position. But notice how I waited until he said he became unsuspicious. Because I think if you do that, then I think if you knock him out while he's still suspicious like that, it will count as a combat knockout, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, there are a lot of little rules that apply to whether you're going to be going ghost or combat. And okay, so that fire extinguisher, if it explodes like that, then it'll still count as the ghost knockout. It won't affect any stats that you have in any way, because it might have killed him, but at the same time it was after you've knocked him out, so you'll be okay, not to worry. So I wait patiently, see if this guy is going to come out here. He doesn't, he goes by, so I know I have enough time while he's walking over there to get a good knockout. And I think it's just 2 Juggernauts left. So I hop on up here. You can aerial knock out them. So I use that to my advantage. I love this spot. Honestly, it got me through so many ridiculous levels in this side mission here. So okay, so that's the last one. Very last one of wave 10. And next video will be waves 11 to 15. And again, let me just reiterate what I said earlier in that I recorded my commentaries all out of order. So wave 16 to 20 are belligerently drunk, idiotic. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Part 3 will be on the way, and I'll see you next time.